I have today the incredible privilege of introducing a sister who has traveled all the way from Amsterdam just to be here. Our incredible spiritual flower, Roudenia. She was baptized in 2023, and so coming up on 3 years as a disciple now. She is 26 years old and working at KLM Airlines within HR in Amsterdam. And she serves together as a co-leader within the cyber team over there. I didn't know so much about Roudenia when we met this morning, but she said something that told me more than any CV could ever do. I asked, why is she here? And she responds, my dear friend Shamel always comes and visits Amsterdam. So I think it's my turn to come and visit Berlin. And I just want to put on your hearts, imagine having friends who are willing to travel countries just to meet you. Imagine having such a friend. That is exactly the type of heart that Jesus wants to communicate through all the scriptures. And in the scriptures, he said, whatever you do for the least of these of my disciples, you do for me. That is the heart she has displayed by just coming here. She's also asked me to read a scripture in Psalm 41, verse 1 to 2. And it reads in Psalms 46, 1 to 2, God, you're such a safe and powerful place to find refuge. You're a proven help in time of trouble. More than enough and always available whenever I need you. So we will never fear, even if every structure or support were to crumble away. We will not fear, even when the earth quakes and shakes, moving mountains and casting them into the sea. I give you Roudenia.
Yes. Good morning, family. Thank you for the beautiful introduction, Gustav. And indeed, my name is Roudenia. I'm 26 years old, and I work as an HR employee for KLM, the airlines. So first of all, I want to thank Tommy and Vienna for giving me the opportunity to share my story. So the title of my communion today is Finding Security in God Despite Our Insecurities. So I think if we're all honest, every single one of us has been through some kind of struggle with insecurity. That's what I think, one way or another, right? So maybe it's wondering if you're good enough. Maybe it's comparing yourself to others. Maybe it's feeling like you have to prove yourself to be accepted or to be loved. For me, insecurity meant placing my confidence in people and circumstances. So looking back, I can see that it already started from a very young age. So I grew up in a family of 5. I had an older brother and older sister, like very much older. My sister is 19 years older than me. My brother is 15 years older. He's just 15 or 16 years older than me. So I'm the youngest in the house. My parents had an on and off relationship, which, sometimes was difficult for us in the house. I never really had a close relationship with my dad, even though I lived with him and still live with him. My older brother made some bad decisions while I was growing up, and that because of those certain situations, I no longer felt safe in the home from around the age of 12 years old. And because of everything that happened, I slowly started looking for security somewhere else. So as a little girl, I became very insecure. I cried about everything. And as I got older, that insecurity didn't disappear, but it gave it another shape. So I started looking for acceptance in friends, then in boys, then in achievements. So I wanted people to choose me because I didn't know my own value. And when I was 15, I gave up my virginity to a boy that I really liked at that time, hoping that it would lead to a relationship, hoping that I would finally feel the love that I thought I needed. But it didn't. After that, I continued looking for validation in unhealthy relationships, and eventually I started treating people the same way that I had been treated. So my life became centered around parties drinking, drugs, and just getting any distractions. And from the outside, I looked very happy. I was doing everything that I wanted to do, but on the inside, I was still looking for a purpose, looking for peace, and looking for my worth. The truth is, nothing I chased made me ever feel secure for a very long time, because people disappointed me, relationships ended, and achievements didn't satisfy me. But then I started studying the Bible in 2023. And as I got to know God, I discovered something that completely changed my life. I learned that my failure was never supposed to come from people. It wasn't supposed to come from my career. It wasn't supposed to come from a relationship. My failure comes from God. So the cross completely changed the way I see myself. God loved us so much that he sent his son Jesus to die for us. Think about it for a minute. Jesus willingly suffered. He was rejected. He was mocked and crucified so that we could have a relationship with God. And if God was willing to pay that price for us, how valuable must we be to him? So that changed everything for me. Instead of seeing myself through my own eyes or other people's opinions, I started to learn how to see myself through God's eyes. So now I wish I could say that now that I stand here that I never struggle with insecurity anymore, because that would be a lie. That is not true. So even today, I still struggle with my insecurities, and I can feel insecure. When I have to step into something new, when I don't feel qualified, when I wonder if I'm good enough. But the difference is that I no longer let those feelings decide who I am. God decides who I am. I've learned that insecurity grows when my focus is on myself, but security grows when my focus is on God. So the scripture Gustav just read, that really reminds me that my confidence isn't based on my abilities or what I can do. It's really based on who God is. So we all know that we cannot do everything. We want to, but we can't. But why do we sometimes live as if God cannot do anything, right? God is the one who can do it. God has been faithful through through all of my seasons of my life, and he continues to teach me to trust him instead of trusting my fears. So the next time insecurity tells you, especially the sisters, because we can, struggle with a lot of insecurities. The next time insecurity tells you that you're not enough, don't ask yourself whether you are strong enough. Ask yourself whether God is. Yes. Thank you so much for listening.
I'm sold out, disciple in the fight to this day. I know we don't want to be another movement of men, but we have got to be the movement of our God again.